so that the flow of blood does not go again, backflow does not happen. Now, as the ventricle pressure declines, the AV walls, meaning the walls in between the atria and the ventricle, they'll again open and start filling up with the blood, just like how normally it happens. So this is how the whole entire process of cardiac cycle takes place. So again, the blood from the atria flows into the ventricle and the whole entire process repeats yet again. Talking about the cardiac cycle, so I think I've discussed this with you all. So the cardiac cycle consists of the systole and diastole of auricles and ventricles. And ultimately, the duration of the cardiac cycle is 0.8 seconds. Heartbeat is 72 times per minute. And each of the ventricle is pumping out 70 milliliters of blood, which is the stroke volume. Then if you multiply the stroke volume into the number of heartbeats, that will give you the cardiac output. On an average, 5 liters of blood is pumped out by our heart, which is our cardiac output. Now, what happens is that our bodies can alter the stroke volume, meaning it can increase or decrease the rate of the stroke volume. And how does that happen? Like basically, you can say whenever we do some exercises, right? Whenever we run, whenever we do a workout. So at that point of time, our heartbeat becomes really fast, because of which the cardiac output also increases. Now, if you think about it, the cardiac output of the athlete and the cardiac output of a normal man. So obviously, the cardiac output of the athlete will be much, much higher, or much, you can say, increased as compared to the normal man. Now let us talk about the heart sounds. Now all of you, like at one point in your lifetime, have gone to the doctor to get your heartbeats, or like for any kind of diagnosis, and the doctor checks your heartbeat with the help of stethoscope. Now he hears, what does he hear? He hears the heart sounds that the heart is making. Now the heart sounds, which we call dhak dhak, right? It's actually not dhak dhak, it's actually lub dub. The name of the heart sound is lub and dub. Now, during each cardiac cycle, two prominent sounds are produced, and these two sounds are lub and dub. Now, these sounds can be heard through the stethoscope, and they are of great diagnostic significance, meaning by the sound of these heart sounds, we can, like not we, the doctor can know which kind of disease a person is having, if it is heart related or not. The first sound is the lub sound. It is produced when the AV walls, meaning the tricuspid and the bicuspid walls, whenever they close during the contraction of the ventricles. So at that time, lub sound is made. Then when the semilunar walls close during the ventricular diastole, so at that time, the dub sound is made. So lub dub sounds are made when the walls are closing. Then comes the ECG, that is electrocardiograph. Now, have you seen that mostly in the hospital scenes in the movies or TV series, there shows like a person is connected to a monitor that shows this. Ding. Everyone has seen this? This is an ECG. Okay, it tells us about the heart's activity. It tells us about the heart's electrical activity. Okay, you might notice that in your NCRT, they have given this sound also in terms of text. They say that it goes like peep, 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 peep. Have you seen it? See, it's a very funny paragraph in the NCRT. All right. Now, the pacemaker of the heart, that is the sinoatrial node, it is responsible for the beating of heart. We know that, right? Because of this, our heart is myogenic in nature, auto-excitable. Now, the impulses or the signals that are carried out in the whole cardiac musculature, it produces electric currents. Because all in all, if you think about the signals, they are electric currents only in our body. Now, these can be detected using a machine that is known as electrocardiograph. Now, see students, one thing is very confusing over here. Electrocardiograph is the name of the machine. Electrocardiogram is what we obtain from the machine called as electrocardiograph. Meaning, The machine that the patient is connected to is called as electrocardiograph. And this activity that you're seeing is electrocardiogram. So don't get confused. It's the opposite of what we normally would think. And the whole entire procedure is called as electrocardiography. Now see, normally right now to show you, I drew it like this, right? But it's actually, if you see it very closely, it is like this. And each of the peak, each of the rising and the falling has a significance. Okay, it's not just like that. See, I've added such fancy pictures also for you all. If you can see over here. So this is how the machine gets connected. So basically, in a standard ECG, a patient is connected to the machine with three electrical leads. One like both on the wrist and one to the left ankle. Okay, that is how like a normal ECG, the routine ECG is there. Now, just in case a proper stimulation is done, so a lot of leads are connected to the person's body. Now see here, there is like a proper systematic view of the first peak, which is known as the P wave. Then comes Q wave, then R, then S, and then T. So P, Q, R, S, T. Okay, the P is the smaller one, then there is the Q, and it is fixed, right? N number of times this is only repeated. Now each of these PQRST, they are known as the peaks and they represent something. Now, the P wave represents the electrical excitation or depolarization of atria, meaning at this time when the P is shown, P tells us about that the atria is contracting. Then the Q, R, and S, they tell us that the depolarization of the ventricle is happening, meaning now the ventricles are contracting. Lastly, the last one, that is the T wave, it represents the return of ventricles to normal state, that is repolarization. See, depolarization means the impulse has reached the ventricles, now the ventricles would contract. Repolarization means no impulse is going. Clear? And when?
Explain it again from TV.
See, each of these waves that are there in the standard ECG, they represent something. Okay, the P wave, the smaller wave tells us about the depolarization of atria. Depolarization means now the impulse has reached the atria to contract. So, when both the atria will contract, the P wave will be seen. Q, R, and S. These three waves will be seen together when the ventricles are contracting. Okay. And lastly, when the ventricles are going back to the normal state, that is repolarization, then the T wave will be formed. Meaning at the end of the T wave, this is one cardiac cycle. Same way, this will continue and form like this. Okay. And this will keep on continuing. Okay. Now, the end of the T wave marks the end of the systole. Counting the number of QRS peaks that we are getting, we can find out the heart rate of the patient. And this is extremely important in terms of clinical significance. Now, why only QRS why only counting QRS? Because after the ventricular systole is completed, then only the blood is pumped out, right? So that means one cycle is done. Then when another one will happen, the ventricles will pump out the blood, then another cycle is done. Clear, students? Any doubts? All right, now coming on to double circulation. Okay, double circulation is when the blood is flowing towards, like from the heart two times. Okay, the flow of blood when it is taking twice, we call it as double circulation. And the double circulation consists of two things. The first one is pulmonary circulation. Pulmonary circulation is when the heart is flowing. The blood is flowing in between the lungs and the heart. Then comes the second one, that is systemic circulation. Systemic circulation is when the blood flows between the body and the heart. Okay, so two types of circulation are taking place during double circulation. Now you know the normal blood vessels in our body, arteries and veins. Right, both of them consist of three layers, like they are surrounded by three layers. tunica intima, which is the innermost layer, tunica media, which is the middle layer, and tunica externa, which is the outermost layer. Each of them, like their composition. The intima is made up of squamous endothelium. This is the tissue that it is made up of. The tunica media is made up of smooth muscles and elastic fibers. And the tunica externa, the outer side, is made up of fibrous connective tissue and collagen fibers. Always remember that the lumen of the artery is narrower than the lumen of the vein. Lumen means, like for example, if this is the artery, you cut the artery. Now you're looking at it like this. This part is the lumen. So it will be narrower in the artery, meaning it will be smaller, and it will be wider in the case of veins. Now this is a diagram of the double circulation. To explain it, what is happening if you start from the body parts? So, our body utilizes the oxygen and gives out the carbon dioxide. Now, the carbon dioxide is mixed with the dirty, like the blood, making it deoxygenated or dirty. Now, this deoxygenated blood is carried by the veins, that is the vena cava, and it carries it to the right auricle. From the right auricle, it goes into the right ventricle, and then the right ventricle pumps it out, and it gets carried by the pulmonary artery to the lungs so that it can be purified. Now, once it has been purified or oxygenated in the lungs, now the blood will be returned back to the left auricle through the pulmonary vein, right? Now from the left auricle, it will go into the left ventricle. And when the left ventricle will pump it out, it will go again distributed to the whole entire body by the aorta. So this is, now you're seeing that how the blood, one time it is going to the heart, and then another time it is going to the heart. So 2 times it is going through the heart, and that is why we call it as double circulation. If you want to understand it like this also, it is a more simplified version to understand. From the body, the veins carry the deoxygenated blood to the right auricle. From the right auricle, it would go into the right ventricle. From the right ventricle, the pulmonary artery, which is the only artery that will carry deoxygenated blood, it will carry it to the lungs, and the lungs will purify the blood. Now the purified blood will be carried out the pulmonary vein, and it is the only vein which carries out the oxygenated blood, and it will carry it to the left auricle. From the left auricle, it will move into the left ventricle and again to the body. This is how double circulation takes place. Have you understood this thing, students? Because this is very basic and important thing. Clear? Okay, now you note down till here, then I'll move forward. What is the last thing you people have written?
Arterial system.
What? Say it again, Zanab.
Arterial system.
This part, arterial systole. All right, you can note it down.
Done, ma'am.
All of you are done, students? Hmm?
Done, ma'am.
All of you are done, students? All of you are done, students? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, my internet got shut off, so can you show me the previous part? I couldn't write it. I'll take a screenshot.
Okay. From where?
Ma'am, from arterial systolic.
Done.
Ma'am, can you scroll down a bit? Done, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
All of you are done, students?
No, ma'am.
Okay, tell me when you're done.
Done, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
1 minute, ma'am. Done, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
All of you are done, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
Done, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, can you see the difference between electrocardiogram and cardiograms?
See, electrocardiograph is the machine. Electrocardiogram is this particular electrical activity that is produced as a result of electrocardiograph. And electrocardiography is the procedure to get electrocardiogram. Always remember, graph is not this graph, it is a machine. Gram is a result of, like, this is what we obtain. This the complexes that we are getting, these complexes or these peaks or the waves, they are electrocardiogram. And the whole entire procedure is known as electrocardiography. Yeah.
Ma'am, the machine is electrocardiograph.
Yeah. The name of the machine is electrocardiograph. The peaks observed is electrocardiogram. And this whole entire technique is electrocardiography. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
It sounds weird that how can this be, like, the machine be a graph and this be a gram, but it is what it is. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
Done, students? All of you are done? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
Done, students?
Done, ma'am. Done, ma'am.
All of you are done, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
All of
One.
you are done
No,
till here?
no, ma'am.
Okay.
Done, ma'am.
Done, ma'am.
Everyone's done?
No, ma'am.
Okay, okay.
Done.
Okay, students. Any doubts up until now?
No, ma'am.
No.
So the double circulation is clear to you all? Do you understand the functions and the roles of each of the arteries and veins?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, wonderful. Now see, the next thing that is there is the hepatic portal system. See, first let us talk about what a portal system is. The portal system is basically sort of like a connection in between the heart and the different organ of our body. So that is a portal connection. So when we talk about hepatic portal system, so it is a unique connection in between the digestive tract, the liver, and also the heart is connected. Okay. Now what happens is that the hepatic portal vein is responsible for carrying the deoxygenated blood from the intestine, and it carries it to the liver, so that like much before delivering it to the heart. So from one organ it is going into another organ. Now why is it going there? So that in the liver the detoxification of the intestinal blood can take place, because if the toxic, like you can say toxicated blood will reach the heart, then it will be damaging. So in order to escape that, the blood is taken to the liver so as to detoxify it or to eliminate the toxins. Hepatic portal system is present in almost all of the vertebrates. So you people understand the significance of it. Basically, what is happening over here is that the blood is being transported from one organ to another organ. Basically, if we talk about the hepatic portal system, the word hepatic refers to the liver. So from the intestine, you know that once the food gets digested, then the blood around it also becomes impure. So that impure blood from the intestine, it goes into the liver, and in the liver, it gets detoxified before sending it to the heart. Is it clear, students?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we'll keep it till here only for today's class. And in the next class, we'll talk about how